Hello. This video will walk you through the process of setting up an Indeed.com account and tell you some of the benefits of having an Indeed.com account. More and more, you will find that most companies will require you to apply online, or they will have you email your resume and cover letter. Either way, you need to be familiar with the technology of how to search for a job online, what you need to have in front of you when you search for a job online, and how to navigate the site. If you learn one site, in this particular case for this video, that site will be Indeed.com, you will have the basics of how to navigate through others such as CareerBuilders.com, Monster.com, Glassdoor.com. The key is learning how to use it as more than just a place to look for the jobs. So the first part of this video will be a PowerPoint walking you through the process of setting up an account. Then after that, we will actually look at a live Indeed.com account, in this case, my account. So you can kind of see the different aspects of it, the different parts of it, and some of the things you can do. So we'll get started. To set up an Indeed.com account, you will go to Indeed.com. They will give you the option of either signing in or creating an account. You'll click on the sign in. I will tell you right now that the way this is set up is a little bit different than how the current site is set up. It's because they change their look frequently, but the basics are the same. You click on sign in. You'll click on create an account. You will type in an email address. Make sure that any email address you use for your professional career is a professional email address. No hotmama.com, no or hotmama@gmail.com, no bigballer@gmail.com. Generally, you want to use your first initial last name. It can be gmail.com, yahoo.com, hotmail.com, outlook.com, I think is one. Anyone. It's just the main thing is to make it professional. Email accounts are free. So if you have more than one, that's okay. As I said, first initial last name, first and middle initial last name. If you have a more common name, you might have to play with it a little bit. The one thing I will tell you is make sure if you have to use numbers in your email address, try not to use numbers that can be confused with a year or an age. Anyway, so back to Indeed.com. You'll type in your email address, then you will create a password, then you will retype that password to make sure that it's the same. If you're not sure, Indeed.com will tell you the criteria that they require for a password. We'll talk about that. But it's pretty simple. You have you see right here, you have a check mark. Keep me signed in on this computer. Do not do this if it's a public computer. If you are in a classroom or if you are at the library, be sure you uncheck this. Otherwise, it will keep you logged in to your account even if someone else comes and signs into the computer. The next page is an example of how it's completed. And then once you click to continue, you will get this screen that will say, "Welcome to my Indeed. We have sent a confirmation email to the email address that you've listed. Please click on the verification link in the confirmation email to confirm your email address." Your Indeed.com account will not be completely set up until you do this step. This next screen gives you an idea of what the email address or the email excuse me, will look like. You just click on that link. If for whatever reason, if your email is set up where it won't allow live links, you can also copy and paste the URL that it will provide. Now it'll take you back to an email address confirmed page on Indeed.com. Now, that's the end of this part. See, I told you, real simple to set it all up. Now we're going to close this and we're going to go to Indeed. I have not signed in yet because I want to show you. If you click on sign in this case it's going to autofill and I don't want it to do that, so we're going to get rid of that. You can either sign in if you already have an account, or you can create an account free, just what I showed you in the password, and it shows you all of this. Now I'm going to go back and click to sign in. I've got it saved. This is my personal computer, so I've got it saved on here, so I'm going to click sign in. And now it's taking me to like the main page if you want to hire, if you're an employer. I want to show you what you can do with this small arrow right here. It will allow you to look at a resume if you've uploaded it, any jobs that you've looked at, saved, or applied, any searches that you've done, any alerts that you created, any preferences you have, or your account. We're going to look first at an account. This is your profile. I usually leave mine fairly basic, but we're going to edit form profile. You go to this, click edit again. Now it gives you the option of editing your name, your screen name. Screen name can't be changed. Your website blog, if you have one, your bio, if you want to put something there. If you've looked at my LinkedIn workshop, you can use kind of that summary that you used in LinkedIn. Any interest that you have, keep any interest, even though they're being a bit facetious and putting cat herding, event planning, gardening. I would only put interests that apply to the industry you want to work in. The city and the state and the country and the zip code. Now I have it make my profile visible. The reason I want it visible is employers are going to look at it. So making it private doesn't really help me much. So I'm going to click Save Profile, and there's my profile set up right there. Now if I go back to this arrow over here, now it'll let me set up preferences. I can set up how I want my searches to appear as I do them. I can do job age, published anytime. I can show jobs within 25 miles of the city or zip code that I put in. I can say how many do I want to show per page. Because I don't like clicking through a lot of pages, I'm going to put 50. And then on browser, open search results in a new browser window when I click on them. And then the interface language, it defaults to English. This change, if you wanted to change the language, just keep in mind that the language is only set for prompts and messages. It's not going to change the whole language of a page. So I click Save Preferences. It's telling me my preferences have been saved. Now, I've set my preferences in my account. Alerts, but I'm going to go to searches first. This tells me every search that I have created in the last month or so. It'll go a lot further back than that. I just had cleaned mine up a little bit. If you want to remove a search, all you have to do is click remove and it'll take it off. That's all you have to do. Once you get to my searches, it allows you to do a few other things without having to go up here. You can look at alerts. All alerts are as you create a search, it will allow you to save it. And I'll show you how to do that. It will allow you to save it, and then you'll get each day or each week, depending on how you set it up, you will be able to get those searches results emailed to you instead of having to come back and go through the whole search again. Say I wanted to edit this administrative assistant executive jobs in Houston. If I click edit, it will allow me to change the name, what job type. In this case I've got full-time, but if you wanted to see everything, you could do all job types, where at, and how are they going to deliver them to me, daily or weekly. Once I make my changes, then I would hit save change. I haven't made any changes, so I'm just going to click cancel on this. You can do that with any particular position you want. Now, if you wanted to set up one, you don't have to go over to the search page to do it, although I'm going to show you how to do that as well. You can do it right here. Say I wanted to do office manager, but I want to do it in Houston. I can create an alert. Now, I have office manager jobs in Houston. Say I'm going on vacation and I don't want to keep getting these emails piled up into my email address while I'm gone. You can pause it. Then you can resume it when you come back. If you go, this one's not working for me, I'm going to delete it, you can delete it. Now, once you delete it, it's going to ask you, it has been removed. You can't undo it. Now, you can't undo it once you go past this page, but if you go, oh, shoot, I didn't want to undo that, or I didn't want to delete that, you can undo it. It'll ask you, why did you cancel your job alert? You don't have to send this feedback. If you want to, you can, but you don't have to. We're going to undo it so you see that it's back again. Alerts are very nice so that you can save time. If you know you're going to be looking for the same type of job in the same place every single time, it's much easier to do it and set up an alert. Now, if it's a job you're only going to look for once, then you probably don't want an alert. Now you've got My Jobs. I'm going to come back to showing you how to do it on the main page later. Then you've got My Jobs. My Jobs is a real handy tool to use if you want to keep track of what you're looking for and when you've applied and did you get an interview. Now, sometimes it may be saved and the job is expired. If that's the case, you can just go ahead and archive it. This allows you, if you're looking, say you're looking but you don't have time to apply for the job right then, but you don't want to have to go back and try to find it again, you can save it. I'll show you how to do that. Once you've applied for a job, say I have applied for this executive assistant position, I can say move to applied. Once you have moved it to applied, now you've got every job that you've applied for. Now, sometimes they may be expired and you may want to archive it just to get it out of the way. Or if you got an interview, you can show that. If you go, I got an interview, you just click on that. It'll move it to interview. Okay. I'm going to move that back. And then you got the interview, and then you can say I got an offer, or I need to archive, or I need a note. Now you can say, if I wanted to add a note, I could say interview on June 15th at 2 p.m. and save. You can put a note on there. If you find out that it's a position, I'll show you one I did for an archive. Just have to find it because I've archived a lot of jobs. Like I did on this one, position has been filled. On this one, found position while giving Indeed.com workshop that I did on another workshop. Any of these, you can add any note you want. You're the only one that's going to see the notes. So this is a very good tool to keep track of your job search through Indeed.com. Now, we're going to talk about a resume. My resume is already uploaded. There's certain private information that Indeed won't show anyone but someone you've applied to. In this case, it's your email address and your telephone number. You click on private. It'll tell you your phone number and email address are only provided to employers you apply to. Your street address is only visible only to you. I don't put my street address on my resume for these types of sites, so I don't have to worry about that. This right up here is the profile sentence that I put on my resume, so it goes up at the top, and it tells them the city and state that I live in. This is good because some employers want local employees. Then you got your work experience. You always, when you upload your resume, you can do it from a Word document if you've got one. You always want to look at it and make sure that everything uploaded properly. You can't see it because I had corrected this already, but my resume, the first bullet, I had to add that little bullet symbol right there, because for some reason on every single position that I had, for the first line, the bullet was gone. So I had to make sure that I looked at it very closely and fixed it. And then I've got my education. I've got a skilled section, which basically was my professional highlights on my resume, my LinkedIn URL, any awards that I got, and any additional information. In this case, it was the certificates that I got from Ed2Go. All of that's on there. Now, if you haven't gotten your resume uploaded yet, you can edit your resume, and it'll allow you to edit everything. If I wanted to delete my resume, I'll delete it, and I can upload a resume. In fact, I will upload my resume right now, and I can show you what I meant about having to edit things. So let me find my resume and my business resume. You can also create it from a blank, but it's much easier to upload. All right, if you see, now I can edit everything. See what I'm talking about the bullet. So I had to copy that and then paste it on each section and click save. And I had to do that all the way around. Now, say I'm doing this and I don't have time to finish it. I can make my resume private. Your resume is not visible. Employers cannot find your resume, but you can attach it when you apply to a job. I suggest leaving it public, but in this case, since I don't have time because I'm not going to use this workshop as a chance to fix it, I'm going to leave it private for now, and then I'll go back and fix it. I also will need to add the additional sections that I had on there before. So we're going to go ahead and click continue. And then it allows me, if I want to rate my different employers, I can do a review. I can talk about a typical day. You don't have to do this. You can, it gives you, tells me that my resume has been posted. This is not, even though it says required up here, it's if you're going to rate the company and fill out anything else. You don't have to do this. So we'll go back to resume. As you can see, there it is. I just need to edit it to finish everything up. Now, we're going to go to find jobs. This is where you can put in anything. If I put in secretary receptionist, and I click find jobs. Now, once I get over here, Indeed gives you a lot of options. It allows you to sort by relevance or date. I usually always do date. You can do distance. You can do exact location, 5 miles, 10 miles, however far away from your location you want to go. It'll allow you to do salary estimates. It'll allow you to search by title. If there's more than one title, it'll allow you to click more and get more titles. It'll allow you to narrow the search by company. If, say, you wanted to work at Houston Methodist, you could click on that and it will show you the jobs that fit your search criteria that are from Houston Methodist. Location, as you notice, it only shows like the first 5. But if you want to see more, you can click more and it'll show you. It starts with the most number in a location and then goes down to lowest. As you can see, Stafford has only got 1 job listed that meets the criteria. And then this criteria, it also allows you job title, full-time, part-time, temporary, contract, or commission. And then it allows you, is it an employer or is it a recruiter? Most of the time, recruiters are going to be staffing agencies. Indeed.com, I'm sorry, Office Team, StaffRight, Account Temps. If you don't want to deal with a recruiter, you don't have to. You can say, all right, I only want to see jobs from the actual employers. Indeed is a very good tool. It's one of the more popular tools right now. Now be aware that changes. 5, 10 years ago, Career Builders was the site that everyone applied on and everyone who had a job posted on. And they're still good sites, but Indeed seems to be one of the more popular ones right now. Once you get your everything set up on Indeed, it'll give you an idea of how the other sites work. Now, there are a few things. Oh, you can go get new jobs for this search by email. If you click on this, it sets up your alert. It's that simple. You don't have to go back to the alert section and all of that. It's literally that simple. You click on that link and it'll set up an alert for you. Now, some of the things, I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. If you look, Indeed, they've got jobs, salaries, trends, forums, browse jobs, tools. Tools is really nice. It gives you some things. There is a mobile app for Indeed.com that will let you look for jobs. Be aware of one thing though. Some jobs require that you go to the employer's site to apply. Using the app will not get you out of that. I'll go back to a search and show you the difference. You've got job alerts. You can look at your alerts, the My Indeed. There are some plugins that you can put on Firefox or Google Toolbar that kind of helps you look for jobs a little easier without having to come back to Indeed.com. And here it's forums, salary search, so you can kind of see what companies are paying, the job trends, browsing jobs. There are a lot of tools on Indeed.com. The forums are good. The one thing I would caution you on is spending a lot of time on the forums, because these are not always, in fact, usually not always, employers that are posting. It is other job searchers. You can search the forums by company, job, city, general, or HR. There are people will post all kinds of things on here, like this one. I need help passing. I keep getting 6974s on my CRTs. They're probably asking for help on how to do better. There's always things, but you can do different ways to use this forum for information. I would just caution on spending a whole lot of time on the forums, because searching for the job would probably be a better use of your time. Indeed.com is a really good tool. It's not the only tool. If you saw my other video for LinkedIn, LinkedIn will also allow you to search for jobs. But it's a very good tool to get you started, to get you an idea of how to use these types of sites. It's a fairly clean site to use, so it's not quite as hard or as convoluted as others may be. But it's a good site. One of the things I want to show you, if you've never filled out a job application online, there are a couple of places you can go to practice, so you kind of get a feel for it, get a little more. If you put practice online job applications into google.com, there are a couple of different ones you can go to. You can go to practice online application. This particular one is fairly simple. It gives you a breakdown of you're filling out all your information, your educational background, your employment history, things of that nature. I will tell you that most online applications, they're going to ask for a whole lot more than just two. And then even shows you how to upload your resume. You have CareerPoint MA. And this one, if you click here to fill out the practice application form, same thing, gives you an idea. You click next and it takes you to the next section, which in this case is your education. You click next and then it's your employment information. You can copy and paste your resume. You click next and it's your reference information. Then you'll have a questionnaire, and most all of them will do this to a certain extent. It'll ask you, have you ever been dismissed or forced to resign from any employment? How many years of experience do you have working in retail or customer service? All of this information, you're going to be getting this type of questions when you're filling out online applications. You may even get the one where they're asking about what strengths would you go to. This is a very good one to practice on because it goes really detailed. I will put this link in the description section of this video when I post it. This is a very good one, and it'll give you time to practice, and you can see different aspects of what you're going to do. But if you want to practice on other ones, all you have to do is just put in practice online job applications. And as you can see, it will pull up all kinds of different applications that you can try. When you are filling out job applications, have a complete copy of your resume in front of you. Have a complete copy of all of your references in front of you, and have a complete copy of your work history. That means the name of the company, your title, the dates you worked there, your supervisor's name, your supervisor's position title, address, telephone number, email address if you need it. Make sure you have all of that information in front of you when you start the online application process, because some applications will time out and you will lose all the information that you've done. Make sure you follow all the instructions clearly and appropriately, because that is something else they will look at, and that could also cause an application not to go through. Now, I'm just going to pull up administrative assistant, and I want to show you how you can apply for different jobs on Indeed. If you look, there's several of them that go administrative assistant, lead office assistant, and then you have one that says apply with your Indeed resume. If you click, and it'll open a new page, you read all the responsibilities and you go, hey, I can do that. You go all the way down and you click apply now. It will take the resume that you have on Indeed, and it also gives you the opportunity to copy and paste a cover letter into this before it's sent. I highly suggest that any position you apply for, that you prepare a cover letter for. It will set you apart. Now, say you go, I'm not ready to apply for these jobs right now. You can also click Save Job. If you want to apply for this job, I can open it, and then it opens it to the website that the employer wants me to apply on. And then I go through the whole process of apply now, the strategic part. It tells me everything I need to know, and then it tells me apply now. If I apply now, it tells me I can create an account for this website, or I can just say take me to the online application. And once I go to the online application, it says you're allowed to complete the applications in several steps. You always want to read all of the information they give you here to make sure that you don't do anything wrong. I'm going to go ahead and close this because I'm not applying for this position. And you can, it moves it to saved. And you can do that with any job you see. If it says apply with your Indeed resume, you can apply directly from Indeed.com. Otherwise, you're probably going to have to go to the employer's website. Keep that in mind, especially if you are using the mobile app. There are a lot that you can do that with, okay? All right. I believe that is everything that I wanted to cover on Indeed.com. I will also include my email address in the description section of this video. If you have any more questions or comments, please feel free to contact me.